All right, guys. Here we are tonight. All right. Okay, let me just check. Let me just check something here really quick. Okay. All right. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
good night.
night. I
Right?
see I have here early out. Before we get to our special guest, if I had one wish, it would be Virgil van Dijk. Yuri, why you not signing a defender, at least on loan?
Bro, they say we're broke, man. They say we're broke.
Liverpool spoke.
Yeah, man. That's what
Mm.
that's what's coming out of the camp. The
Okay.
owners, they don't want to spend the money.
They
All
spend the
right.
money in the
We
league.
get what you said,
Typical
Jamal.
Americans, boy.
I said they spend the Champions League money and the league money already. That's
Yeah,
what.
on the Red
Already.
Sox, maybe.
All right,
Carry
Jamal,
on,
what's up? Talk to
man.
us.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Just chilling. Sad that we got knocked out of the FA Cup, but we move.
We move indeed. We move indeed. Moy, what the vibes?
I'm moving, but in this time in a positive way. I'm moving to the next round. So that's I'm looking positive there.
I mean, okay, you know what? Let me just give a little FA Cup thing here because Moy, you must have been panicking.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, it was
Thank
kind of
you,
nerve. They
thank you.
actually had us. I mean, those long throws or like brought back your dilap days from Stoke.
Mm.
And City had trouble, a lot of troubles defending those. And the best youngster in the league decided to come up clutch. Phil
Arguably,
Foden.
arguably. All right, okay. Kiefer, welcome to Ireland fans. Your first time joining us, and what a time to join us. I see you're repping your Chelsea, and I'm glad
Sure.
because we couldn't find much Chelsea fans wanted to come on. It's like they're always free. So talk to us, Kiefer. What's up?
I'm here, plenty things to talk about with Chelsea right now. It's crazy.
All right.
Lot of drama going on, a lot of drama.
Good stuff, good stuff. And we're glad that we have you tonight because we want some real Chelsea insight. Eureka, I must say,
Yeah.
last week, Monday, the fans were looking for you. Last week, no,
Oh, they
last
were
week,
looking for me.
Thursday. Last week, Thursday, the fans were looking for you. And early out in the
Yeah.
comments, the first comment we have tonight. Good night, Eureka.
I
Good
even get a
night,
little
Eureka.
hot.
Look at this. Afri is here. Afri saying big up to the Manchester United fans. Big win. All right.
No big up
And
to no more
Leon
Manchester United fans who are free.
Leandre said we could take down the missing posters now. We couldn't find you. We couldn't find you, Yuri. All right. And Kiefer, pull up now. Lampard get fired. We'll see. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But before we get to the Chelsea, the Lampard out and the Tuchel, whether or not Tuchel is in. All right. Look at this now. Look who we have in here. Josh, aka Stop Clap, still crying in the building. Josh is away. That's why he's not joining us.
Ah.
But you must be glad because I don't think we were able to shut him up. And one if we can keep him out the comments. That's all one if we can keep him out the comments. All right. Before we get to the Chelsea game, let's just jump to some of the games that's coming up this week, guys. And we work our way through them. We're gonna talk a little about Frank Lampard and Chelsea situation right now going forward. So first things first, let's talk about Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Jamal, we're gonna start with you. What do you think, or what are your predictions of this game?
I could
I
see a
think in
draw.
yeah, go ahead.
I could see a draw with this game. West Ham have Antonio back, but they also what was it? They won their last 5 games, which is pretty
Yeah,
good.
they're on a good one.
They're on a good run. I think we talked about them finishing top 8 last week, right?
7, 8 there about.
Yeah, and then Palace are not really on a good run at the moment. So I could honestly see a draw if Eze and Zaha play. But if there is to be a winner, I think West Ham will take it due to just form.
So what's your score? What's the score line?
Or either 1-1 or 2-1 West Ham.
1-1, 2-1. Moy, what about you? What's the score line?
I'm going for 1-0 West Ham win. West Ham to keep the farm going.
Kiefer, what you say?
I think West Ham is gonna take it also. Zaha and Eze will they're gonna create something I feel. So I feel like it may be a 2-1 once they're playing, but
Antonio is back, and as Jamal said, West Ham is on a run of form, good form. So I think I'd give them the nod to win.
I mean, yes, Keith, I agree with you because the West Ham. I was asking the guys last week if how high we can think West Ham could finish this year. What do you think?
I think they can finish higher than usual for sure. Their team chemistry seems to be working out really well for them this year, so they're a team to watch.
All right, good stuff. Yuri, give me a prediction and tell me whether or not you believe in David Moyes.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2-1 West Ham. Nothing really more to add than what the boy said. West Ham on good form at the moment. The chemistry, like Keith said, is starting to click. And I honestly think not having fans is helping them. The West Ham fans can be a bit toxic. And the environment in the London Stadium can be a bit toxic as well.
Them London people, you know.
They're mad, man. So I think that's helping them this season. David Moyes, I think he's at the right club. He's at the club with his coaching level, West Ham.
So you say he's a mediocre coach.
I'm saying he's a coach for West Ham.
He will not break the top six.
That's whatever you want.
He will not break the top six, and he's not gonna be in and around relegation.
Right. He's a coach for West Ham.
All right, politician. You weak regular politician.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Let's jump down here. Newcastle versus Leeds. What do we think here? I mean, let me just say this because Leeds very up and down. Yeah. One game they knock you 5, another game they concede 5, and I think this game in the first round, because we start the second round of matches, I think this game finished 5-2 leads, 5-2 leads. So what do we think here, Moy? Let's start with you.
I'm going for a lackluster one for this game. I'm going for a 0-0 draw.
Whoa.
I don't think Newcastle will get the goals, and I think Leeds going to be as usual with hitting posts every single time. So I just go for the 0-0 draw.
All right, Jamal, what do you say?
I'd say Leeds will take this one 2 or 3. Steve Bruce is doing an awful job over there at Newcastle at the moment, and I know the fans want him out, but if he can stay in for a bit longer, it'd benefit everybody else in the league. They're on a 5-game at least. Whoa, they haven't won in 10. Let's put it that way. They haven't won in the last 2 games in both league and cup. So I would expect them to go down the same vein and lose this one too.
Okay, all right. Well, good night to Suko over there. Suko is another Chelsea fan in the building. All them coming out tonight. Whether or not they're happy, I don't know. But I'm finding all them Chelsea fans tonight. Before we continue, let me just get some of the other comments in. Limal is saying Klopp next after Lampard. Leandro is saying maybe Arteta because the media needs a new target again. No, Lampard is gone. Lampard's poor form was doing Arteta a favor.
Steve Bruce
Steve Bruce, you think so?
Yeah. They haven't won a game in 10. 10 games now. Yeah.
Why is Memphis on my case?
And we see people saying we follow you week. Shakala, good night. See that here and YK Gaming, little late but in the building. Big up yourself, Kembe. Shakala loving the Chelsea support tonight. I'm loving the fact that the Chelsea supporters are out as well. All right, let's go. Jamal, we're going to start here with you. We're just coming off of a loss to these people in the FA Cup. And we did draw with them in the first round, 1-1 at home. Do you think we stand any chance of beating these guys tomorrow?
Is Danny Ings fit? Is he playing this one?
Well, he played on Saturday. I would think so.
Then I think it's a draw for us. Due to the nerves, because we just played them as well. If there is to be a winner, we'll win it. But it's gonna be tough.
Jamal, you're coming like you now, you know.
Yeah, I gotta be quite.
very diplomatic with your answers. Jamal,
season.
are we winning the game? Yes or no?
All right, reluctantly, yes, we'll win the game. 2-1.
Give me a score. 2-1. Suka, what do you think about this game?
I would say 1-1.
1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Let me get Eureka back in here real quick. All right, Kiefer, what do you think?
I don't know. Arsenal is another up and down team like Leeds. One time the youths are gunning. I can't believe we gave them points. But
The disrespect. What team doing?
Because we're another London club doesn't mean you have to put us down that much.
I'm saying.
But not us.
I don't know. I think you guys might bounce back. But I think I'm going to give it a draw. I think 1-1.
Give it a draw. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Moy, what say you?
We going for the little cheeky own goal this weekend.
Who's scoring? Who's scoring on goal?
Gabriel can provide the next one.
Another one.
2-2? No, I will not have it. I will not have it. Let me get the Munchie. We have Munchie here. Munchie, good night. Big up yourself, Munchie. Leandro saying Brucey safe, man. They winning this weekend. Well, Eureka, they out for you now. Eureka, you better hope you beat Spurs now as problem. Munchie here with all his negativity. He's saying 2-1 Saints. Amija is here in the building. Big up yourself. Afri with more hate. 2-1 Southampton. Leandro now, finally, some sense. Southampton getting 2-0. No Walker Peters, no Bertrand. Okay. Amija too is saying 3-2 Arsenal. And Afri saying Moy, you're at it early. All right. So I'm going to give my team a 3-0 win.
3-0.
3-0 win.
Well,
Eureka, why you look so surprised?
Now,
is Auba firing?
Yeah, he's not playing. I don't think he's playing this weekend.
I mean, he hasn't been firing in past couple games. And we won these games.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to play this weekend.
Shaq, let me ask you. When last did Southampton concede more than 2 goals?
Oh, that's a great question.
I mean, I don't know. I can check it. But the fact of the matter remains, Sukwa, is not when last, is what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not, I'm not looking in the past on what they haven't done. I'll make history. If they haven't done it in a while, I'm not then treat tomorrow. I don't see what the big issue is.
They conceded 3 in November to Manchester United.
And that was a come from behind. Win there. All right. Okay.
You're making history like what Burnley did to Liverpool.
You cannot laugh. You cannot laugh. All right, let's go. Eureka, because Moy just said that, let me give you first.
1-0 West Brom. 1-0 West Brom.
1-0 West Brom. I love it. I love to hear it.
Big Sam.
Talk to me, Eureka. Realistically, how do you think this game playing out?
Why you don't think I realistically think it's 1-0?
Okay, if you are, tell me. 1-0 West Brom? Because this game dropped first round.
Yeah?
It was 1-1 first round. It was 1-1 first round.
Right. But it's been a long time since then, brother. A long time. And City are in form. But I believe it's going to be 1-0 City. I don't think it's going to be this big blow like everybody expects. Believe West Brom could try do what West Brom does, but the quality of City will come through. They're going to score 1. I think Jesus might score this one.
Okay, Kevin De Bruyne is out for 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
what's going to happen with City? What's going to happen with City and what's going to happen with them in this game?
Nothing. We're going to still be performing the way still. It's going to be a miss that De Bruyne is not in the team, but we have the squad depth and the quality to fill his role. Phil Foden can continue to be in the starting squad and perform just like how he used to every time. But I think this game is going to be 3-0 City.
3-0 Manchester City. Keith, what do you think?
That's it.
De Bruyne missing is gonna be big for them, but I think Gundogan has showed up in the last 3 to 4 games. I think he's playing really well. And I'm a guy that doesn't really like Gundogan, to be honest. But he's
you
playing.
don't?
Yeah, I just don't find him to be that great of a player that people say that he is. But he has played pretty good the last 3 to 4 games. So I think he'll fill in a bit. Phil Foden, as Moy said, is a good player, good youth player. He should do well. I think the game should be City 2-0.
Exceptional. Exceptional.
Suka, jump in on this and then we move on.
Yeah, I think Gundogan steps up in KDB's absence. I'll say a clinical 2-0 for City. 2-0.
2-0 for City. I'm just trying to skip past the negative comments I'm seeing here.
Please.
All right. I'm just trying to skip past them because he's saying Leandro is saying Southampton played their full side against our out of form players and won from an own goal. We were awful and we were probably both on the same wavelength. Check the stats. After he's saying more mind your business, and Amijo is saying Bruno Fernandes has most midfielder goals. I guess he's saying without penalties. All right. And Monchi is here with our new favorite player. As long as John Diaz stay COVID free, Philly doing things and Gundogan keeps firing, we good. 3-0 City.
I agree
all right. He thinks he's given this name to John Stones and Ruben Diaz. Combine them into their John Diaz body. So
wait, quick question before we move on. Is City about to set a record for wins in a row?
City?
Yeah, they've won the last 10 and they haven't lost in the last 15 at least.
Okay. Yeah, just stats like that.
Well,
all right. I mean, City is a phenomenal team. They did have a little shaky start, but I do think that they're going to come to the fore. Now we're in what? The last week of January. So we have February, March, April, May. 4 more months. It's crunch time now. Let's talk about Aston Villa because they still have a couple of games in hand. And how serious of challenges are they? Let's go with Sukwa.
They have about 2 games in hand, is it? Still?
Yeah, 2 or 3 there about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think well I think they will still be able to probably be able to win maybe a couple of these games, maybe 1 out of the 2 or so in hand. I think they're given a good run for the at least top 6. Looking at it as it stands right now, right? That game against Burnley though, that'll be a very tough game because Burnley at home very difficult to beat. I can see Villa going on the attack though. Probably could be a score draw, 1-1.
1-1. All right, Unique. Let me bring you in here because Burnley's coming off of a win, an away win at Anfield. How do you think they will fare in this game versus a very good Aston Villa team?
Yeah, Burnley should be full of confidence, right? I know they also had a nice win in the FA Cup this weekend, so they should be full of confidence. They scored 3 goals, right? So they're scoring goals now. They're getting clean sheets. But just to touch on where you asked about Aston Villa and if they're serious contenders, I don't think so. I'm looking at the games they have in hand. It's against Tottenham and against Everton. Added to the fixture pileup, those are 2 very, very hard games, right, for them to get through. And if they lose, they have a knack of keeping key players fit. But this game in particular, I think they'll win this game though. I think they have enough quality to beat Burnley comfortably.
Okay, good sir. I'm going through some of the comments here. I'm saying Akin White, welcome to Ireland fans. He's saying Chelsea's going to win the league, and straight off the bat, I think this guy is a crazy guy. All right, he's laughing here. Newton's saying Daniel Nice. Munchie saying not even if it's not even on career mode, if it's simulate the whole season. He said Lampard out.
Obviously, you don't know the news.
Munchie, you're not winning the league, staying second. Lampard done gone. Lampard coming back in 5 years.
I guess.
Love it. Love to
Okay.
see it.
Okay. Burnley always mid-table and playing like they're in first and leading by 1 point. Aston Villa might be the most underrated team this season. They've been playing great football without having to be overly reliable on Grealish, Watkins, Traore, etc. All doing their part. And I agree with that comment. I mean, yes, they did beat us 3-0, so I know that they are a good team. But I've watched them play a couple of games, and I think they're a good team.
They're very good going forward.
Right, the manager have them well drilled,
Mhm.
and I think they're a good unit. Let's go here, and this is the bottom of the table. I think both teams are, I think what 17th and 18th, if I'm remembering correctly. Jamal,
Yeah, 17.
what do you think here?
Oh, another dead rubber.
Mm.
0-0, to be honest.
0-0.
Yeah, I think both teams will come out cautiously.
Hmm.
I think so.
What I do like though is Loftus-Cheek for Fulham. I think
Yeah.
he's a really good player, and you're seeing maybe not the I don't want to say the best of him. We're seeing some of his better qualities coming out at Fulham. Kiefer, I know he's one of your players you have on loan. What do you think about him?
I think Loftus-Cheek is a really good player. I'm not sure if we're seeing the best of him because we have seen
Better.
him in last season, especially on the Sarri, etc. When he was playing in Europe before he got cut down. That's when we saw the brighter side of Loftus-Cheek and how influential he can be as a box-to-box. So I don't think we're seeing the better side of him now because he doesn't have the best players around him. We're just seeing what he can do individually. But with better players around you, you tend to strive more, especially if you have a system that feeds into you. And that's what Sarri's system did. It fed into him to be more open because he had players like Kovacic and Jorginho that were there to string the passes, and he kind of played like a Yaya role. He took the ball and he carried it forward.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Are you
I don't necessarily seeing the best of him right now, but he is a great player. He's a top player.
all right? So what you think the scoreline going to be, Kiefer?
But I do think Brighton is going to take it, though. I think Brighton take it 1-0.
1-0 Brighton. Yuri?
Yeah. Brighton in a little bit of an injury crisis themselves. They have a lot of players missing. But just like Kiefer mentioned, Loftus-Cheek is quality for Fulham. I disagree with Jamal. I don't think this is going to be a 0-0 kind of game. I think both teams have attacking quality and both teams cannot defend very well. So I think it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Okay. All right.
I think it'll be 1-1.
Right. Let's jump to this game because I think this is one of the games.
2-2 for me.
2-2.
2-2.
Oh, that's a high scoring one day, Sukwa.
For Brighton and Fulham?
For Brighton and Fulham? Okay. All right. Let's jump to this one. Everton versus Leicester. Because I think that this is one of the games of this match week.
Well, Vardy's out, right? Vardy's injured.
Vardy's out. Vardy's out. So let's start with you, Jamal. Where are you going with here?
I think just because Vardy's out, Everton are going to take it.
What about the form of Maddison?
Yeah, but how many goals can they score from midfield as opposed to a Calvert-Lewin? What I would argue. So that's why I would think Everton will take this one at least 2-1, with Maddison scoring a free kick.
2-1 Everton.
Yeah, 2-1 Everton.
I think Calvert-Lewin scored on the weekend.
Yeah.
Right. I see Memphis is saying in the comments too, Calvert-Lewin is back after he's saying that 4-2 Leicester. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moy, how do you see this game panning out?
Nacho is not it.
You just mentioned Iñiacho.
Is Iñiacho the strike? Iñiacho is going to be the striker for Leicester.
No one else.
Yeah.
I pray not. I pray not.
Or you might have
Everton
Perez
going
as a false nine.
Yeah.
Everton going to win the game 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Super, let's see.
I don't like Leicester behind me either. So Everton need to nick one.
Yeah, I think
That's a bias. Okay.
Yeah, that
No.
would be
No.
Okay, go ahead, Super. Go ahead now.
I would say a score draw 1-1.
1-1
Between
this
two.
game.
Yeah.
I feel so too. I feel so too. Yuri,
Harvey Barnes has to step up this game. I want to see Harvey Barnes step up
I like that
and
player.
take the mantle. He's such a good player. I want to see him step up. I want to see. I think this is so hard because both of these teams have attacking quality. Everton at home, giving Everton the edge. I think it would be 3-1.
3-1.
You're giving
Yeah,
them
I
the
think they're
edge
gonna score
3-1.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a 3-1 type of game. I think it's going to end 3-1.
And 3-1.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a close. I think it could be back and forth.
Okay. You're
right about Harvey Barnes, because when Vardy is usually out, he's usually the man that steps up, right? So you have to look out for him in that tie.
Keith, where you going this one?
I think Everton win 2-1.
Everton 2-1. Munchie saying here, if I get it up. James is back with the assist. Midweek, Calvert-Lewin finally scored as well. So Munchie's going 3-1. Leandri is saying he goes 3-1 as well. DCL is back with Digne and James is back as well in the squad to provide the service getting early in the season. All in all, whoever scores first will probably win the game, especially if Leicester scores first. Okay. All right. That's a good game. This next one, Sheffield United is relegated already. I want to ask you, is Man United going to score less than 3 goals in this game? Yeah. Let's start with you, Yuri.
There are two teams with similar styles, both set up to just defend and don't want to attack. So
shots fired. Shots fired. Watch Memphis. I'm sure Memphis typing right now.
Oh, I know he's typing. Brewster winner. 2-1 Sheffield. I'm serious.
Brewster winner.
I'm serious.
You just I'm saying, John. Moy, what say you here?
Well, this looked like a game that Manchester United should win, but I think they're going to do the most Manchester United thing for this game, and I think it's going to end in a draw. I'm going with a 1-1 draw.
Harry Maguire own goal.
Lindelof.
Eric Bailly. Lindelof, okay. Tuchel.
I would say 2-0. 2-0 United.
2-0 United. United flying.
Oh, you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that.
Why you want to give them a 2-0 win?
Come on.
I think man, they're in form right now. I mean, I'll have to be realistic with something along based on their form and so on. And they're playing at home.
They don't win at home though. That was a fluke. Sunday, that's epic.
Boy, I'm saying. When you look at the form of Bruno Fernandes, I mean, I don't know if Rashford is a doubt.
He's a doubt.
But I'm saying when these guys counter attack, they look dangerous.
Sheffield just need to not give away no set plays, no penalty, no free kick.
But the United fans would say that Bruno Fernandes scored a 25-yard penalty on you yesterday.
Yeah, it's we go for them. Anything they're scrap for this point.
Yuri, I beat Burnley at home, which you couldn't do.
Look at what they're celebrating. Look at this.
All right, guys. Yuri, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes now to talk about this. Ooh. And I want you to tell me specifically. All right. I know. If anybody can see Yuri's name, he's wishing for Virgil van Dijk. But I want to ask you, Yuri, how if you're Jurgen Klopp, how do you set up? What are you telling the players? How you getting the win in this game?
Prayer. We need divine help with this game. To be honest,
this is a cross and inshallah game, right?
Yeah, it's been crossed and inshallah for quite a while. Okay, so it depends on who we have available. I know they said Matip was rested for this game, right? So hopefully we'll have Matip and Fabinho back because we all saw what happens when we have to play the kids. Reece Williams got skinned on the weekend. So we're not trying not to have that again. Henderson, I don't know what's going on with Henderson, man. He's been having this little injury, but I personally feel he has COVID, and the club doesn't want to say. He's been
Who is
out, but
that?
nobody knows Henderson. Nobody knows
Oh,
what injury it is,
oh,
right?
okay.
So that's just my hunch. But if Henderson is back, Matip is back, front three, kind of. I wouldn't go so far to say I've regained their scoring ability, but it. I think we defensively have enough to be able to hold on because Tottenham is going to come and do what Tottenham does. They're going to try to counter us just like United did for the 0-0. So it just depends on, and I need Trent. I need Trent to hit form. I need Trent to stop crossing into nowhere. I need Trent to be Trent. You know what I mean? But it depends on the midfield. I'm not confident in this game. I'm not confident at all.
Scoreline.
Don't do this to me, bro. I worry that this could be bad, you know.
You
This
make
is the
you
game.
make me want to cry, you know. The man sounds sad and depressed.
No. Don't be
boy.
depressed for me. Don't be depressed. Don't do that. I'm not a charity case.
Tell me your scoreline.
We're not scoring more than 2. 1-0 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something today because Garrett Bay scoring. Let me just get a comment in here before Kiefer, I'm coming to you with this question. Leandro is saying Bruno was bad enough, but Bruno and Pogba in farm madness. Hate United like poison, but I'm not biased. Okay.
I'm biased.
Newton is saying 2-1 Liverpool. Won't be no kids in the backline. Matip will play. Amija is saying 2-0 Tottenham. Kane and Son gonna rape Liverpool.
When
Bale
never rape us.
super sub masterclass coming. All right, and let me just pause there because Kiva, that's what I wanted to ask you. If Tottenham, not we, what am I saying? If we get I did it again. If Tottenham gets 60% of Real Madrid's Gareth Bale, how dangerous of a Tottenham team are we looking at?
Very dangerous because right now Tottenham are basically attacking down the side with Son, and they pull Kane deep. They pull Kane deep to pull the strings to free Son. Now imagine if Kane could have the option of free in either side of the wing, so he could use Son as a decoy, free Bale. If Bale is firing, he can use Bale as a decoy and free Son. So that's what Mourinho was hoping for when he purchased Bale, because he wanted someone to offset the Son wing and use it
over there.
as a decoy. But Bale, he's afraid to use Bale. Bale is a bit injury prone right now. He doesn't know when Bale is going to be at his full fitness. But I think 60% Bale, I think he could still be dangerous. Could be a dangerous factor.
All right, Suko, tell me what your predictions for this game.
I think I'll see a Jose masterclass. They'll sit deep. They won't go on the attack. This probably not a game that they need to win. I would say it probably a dull draw, 0-0.
Oh, that'll be boring. That's the only game on Thursday.
This is the big game of the
It
weekend.
is very possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see it like that.
It's a Wednesday game, isn't it? Or Wednesday night?
I think it's Thursday.
It's
night.
Thursday.
Last game.
Let me tell you something. I just want to add something. The only reason I said 1-0 Liverpool is because I genuinely feel like if we were to win this game, that would be the only scoreline we will win by. I'm not saying that because I believe that will be the scoreline, but that's the only way we will win this game. Tottenham is not going to go forward after that half. It's either they score every chance they get on the counter, and they're going to get chances on the counter. They're going to get at least 3 or 4. Or we try for 90 minutes to break them down and get one chance to score.
I don't know if you guys been watching Tottenham's midfield, but Højbjerg and Dembele have been playing good.
Of course.
And even Ndombele too, who had a rough start to his Tottenham career.
So I
Scored 2
think
goals.
a stellar start. I think Regulian has had a stellar start also. I think that Ori has caught a bit of form also. I think Tottenham got to watch over them for this game. I think they might grab
So it's not like you're saying 2-0 Tottenham.
possibly, yeah. I think a 2-0 Tottenham, yeah.
Wow. And then we really won't find your week. Boy, I will in Liverpool's coffin.
Where is it?
What's the prediction for this game?
I think I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Tottenham win. You know, I think when Tottenham gonna take the chance, and Harry Kane. I think they're gonna get a penalty, and Harry Kane is going to top that way. So I guess I think that's how the game going to go.
Okay, Jamal, are you with your week? You giving them any hope?
I'm not giving Liverpool any hope in this one. Liverpool are there for the taking, and I think Jose Mourinho will take it. Sit back and just catch them on the counter. You know how Liverpool likes to attack. Down the wings, put in their crosses. Nothing comes out, the ball's off the other end. And we see it multiple times. There's nothing at all going through the middle. And
I noticed in a trend here, and I want to jump to the other game quickly because that's the focus. But is Liverpool that bad right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are. Let me
Yes.
ask you a question. I asked the question last game, last show. Your next 6 games, you play Spurs, West Ham, Brighton, City, Leicester, and Everton. How many points you pick up in those 6 games?
Boy, it depends on how fast Jota comes back. We have nothing attack. We have nothing up front, bro. We have no creativity in midfield. It's bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say how much points we pick up because realistically, we see Liverpool dropping points against teams that they're supposed to be winning against. So how can I say that we will pick up 10 to 15 points from that? I can't. It's really bad. And I watch us play and nothing changes. We don't try to play through the middle. We don't try to provide Trent with coverage at the back so he can go forward. It's the same tactics for the entire season, and it's becoming frustrating.
Okay, so let me put this last question to you, Eureka. Because this is my opinion of Klopp and of the Liverpool situation. I think Klopp is just reaching level with this current crop of Liverpool players. Do you agree with that? That you just can't do anymore?
No, I don't agree with that. I think there's circumstances that happened in this season, and I don't want to sound like the Liverpool fan that's moaning, but key things play a pivotal part of the way we play. Our fans play a major part of how we play. Van Dijk missing is not just Van Dijk missing. It's taking key players from our midfield and having to put them in defense. So even though we have 3 and 4 players out of defense, we really have 5 because now we're weakening the midfield to try to galvanize the back. So I think once Klopp gets all the players back, fully fit squad, we go again next season, and I think we win the league next. I'm gonna put that out there already.
You saying clip this?
Clip it. We win the league next season.
I love a clip you know. I love a clip you.
But Shaq, right?
He's actually crying about defense, putting people in defense. bro.
But here what? Boy, you had one man missing. And you cried for a whole season. I'm playing with youth players in my back squad. And watch out, the point to come back now and can't even make the squad. He ain't even good enough to make his starting line.
Because the man got John Diaz now. The man got
John Diaz.
Because John Diaz in there. So how
You want
important
one
was he
alone?
really?
We can nick you one alone now.
Boy, listen to me. At this point, you can give me Garcia and I'll take him alone.
I mean, okay, you weak.
Show me
Okay, this is a
something.
joke. This is a joke. I don't need to
Ben
answer this.
Ben White, Louis.
Why you don't take Mustafi?
Yeah.
Alright, Chelsea fans, we're here. Quickly give us your predictions
I'm a joke
on
to
this
you.
game. Quickly give us your predictions, and then we jump into some Lampard talk. Super, let's start with you.
After that game, it'll be very interesting to see how the players respond in light of the latest managerial change. I know Tuchel doesn't take over the team probably not until the weekend or so. I would want to believe that probably that's the first game that we'll win after. So I would say 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
At home, 2-1 yeah.
Kiefer, you don't look convinced. Talk to us.
I don't know. Chelsea's a funny team to watch. Games that we should win is normally the times where we slip up. Just like early in the season and early in the podcast I talked about when we played Arsenal. Arsenal was at the lowest of the lows. And they catch their run on Chelsea. Before the game even started, I looked at my Arsenal brethren and I told him, y'all beat us today. And he's moping. He's saying, no, we're going to lose. Arteta out, this, that. I'm like, bro, y'all are going to win just because of that. Like, if you're supposed to win, you don't win. But for this one, I think I'm going to go with 1-0. 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea. This is the game, I think, y'all lost this game 2-1.
Yeah, the last in Wolves.
Yeah.
When we played them.
Y'all lost the game 2-1. Okay.
A game from leading 1-0, yeah.
Wolves is a bogey team for us too, so.
Always.
And Pedro Neto is a baller.
Every team's a bogey team for Chelsea.
There's a Jamal, nothing special in Chelsea right now.
After week, people are saying it's a bogey team. Every team's a bogey team.
All right. Before we get into the some questions I have here for you. After we say I'm happy sleeping on Liverpool because we don't score in a few games. Every team have a little dip. I realize we're just 2 games off top, right? 19 games to play, and he's right. He's still there.
It's not a dip, brother. We're doing more than dipping right now. Fully submerged.
All right. This is a quote. This is a quote from the message that Chelsea sent out today, and I picked out this particular quote because I thought that, this is dying on Frank Lampard. It says here, performances have not met the club's expectations, leaving the club mid-table without any clear path to sustain improvement. What I gathered from this is that the club is saying that we look at Lampard, we looked at the situation, and there's no possible way that we saw that Lampard could change this situation. Kiefer, do you agree that this situation was unchangeable? That he couldn't have been improved?
I think realistically, it would be very hard for him to change the situation. I think the players just aren't playing for him anymore. It's exactly like an Andre Villas-Boas situation. I think the locker room, they've lost lackluster. It's very few players playing their heart out every game. I hate to say it, but Mason Mount is the only guy that shows enthusiasm on the field. He's my least favorite Chelsea player. I wish he did not play 90 minutes every game, but he does, and he shows heart. Everyone else, it's dissatisfying to watch. I can look at Thiago Silva and see his disgusting playing in games sometimes. It's like he's confused. He doesn't know what to do. I don't think he's used to this type of football that Chelsea plays, to be honest, because he's used to better quality in front of him. It's a hard team to watch, and I think he just lost the locker room, to be honest. I would have liked a situation like Ole where they gave him time, but Chelsea is a club that has a culture that we don't stand for no results for too long.
Right.
Results and we get you on. That's the culture we've had since I've started backing them back in 05, 06, and the culture hasn't changed. It has led us to trophies throughout the years, but everyone has always complained about we change managers too fast, but that's what works for us, so that's what we keep doing.
I think I heard on the stats today that Frank Lampard has the worst win percentage of any Chelsea manager on the Roman Abramovich era. Sukwa,
Oh,
was it the right time?
Yeah, I think at this point, it was a gamble for me personally. I would have liked to have seen him out like three more games, right? Like what they had originally promised. This 3 game period that they would have given him, and then see. But then at the same time, if Chelsea doesn't pick up anything close to 8 points in those 3 games, now what happens? You're now looking at about like 14 points off top four if results go in the favor of the other teams. So I believe at this point, um, it is hard because I mean Lampard is my favorite player at Chelsea when he played in his time. I would have loved to have seen him
Successful.
do bits as a coach, but that job was just a little bit just a bridge too far for him.
You,
Um,
you think he was out of his depth, Moy?
yeah,
If what, say again?
Do you think he was out of his depth, Lampard, at this job? Do you think the job was too big for him?
I mean, before I get to that point, there was the time when Lampard was playing, and then Andres Villas-Boas came into the Chelsea team,
Yeah.
and when he got sacked, there was a quote that Lampard was saying that he thought that he was too young for the team, and then the club was too big for him. So it's just funny, like that
karma.
came back and hit Lampard
All the
himself.
tables turning it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just came back and hit him. But honestly, I mean, I thought it was pretty harsh though, because Chelsea started the season very well, and then it's just a poor run of form that got him there. But I mean, bad results just hit you there. Just one more thing before you think there was
Yeah.
Pep came out and talked about the situation, which I found that he said very good. He said that during the coaches when coaches coach, right, that they're in the job to get results and not about the tactics or the money that they're
Projects.
spending.
Hmm.
And if they don't win, it's going to look very bad on them. And also with the journalists will be like this week will be like, you need to give him one more chance. But then after the game, quickly, soon as possible, if he lose, you'll be like, get him out quickly. And
Yeah.
it was just a very bad worst case scenario for him.
The,
Couldn't been avoided for him right there.
the
but in
media,
order
the media.
you have to play the tactics that you feel is right. That's why people love it for his tactics. It's his tactics. Even though he will say it's our results that win the game, that's how he gets results. His tactics. I think Lampard, coming from a background of playing quality professional football, he knows what tactics works and he knows what he wanted to implement. But it's the difference between a manager and a player that he couldn't differentiate. He knows what needs to be done. It's implementing and executing
Yeah.
those tactics into someone else. That's what a manager does. A manager implements these tactics into his team. That's something that he doesn't know how to do because he hasn't had much experience as a manager. He may understand tactics. He may know what tactics work. It's just relaying that message to them. And then as a player, he had a lot of favoritism in selecting players as what he would see in himself rather than what would fit his tactics that he may have wanted. Because he always talked about he wanted to play good football. You can see that he tried playing out of the back, but we don't necessarily have the players for that because too
Yeah.
many people on the
I
ball.
think
Aspilicueta isn't the best Spanish player right back on the ball either. So we didn't necessarily have the players for that because in modern day football, N'Golo Kante is not a ball playing six.
Yeah.
He can't be a lone six, and it doesn't work out for us. It has to be a double pivot, or he has to play further up the pitch. He can't hold the six. unless you got someone else that's pulling the strings, and then he's just there rotating on defense. So all that comes into his tactical awareness. It's a lot that he has to implement.
Shaq, I think too, Lampard, he played one system. It's like that 4-3-3 only.
Yeah.
And I think is his inflexibility to adapt. Like look at Mourinho, for example, right? Everybody said what they had to say about Mourinho. Mourinho deployed the 3-4-3, I think it was against Sheffield, that last game that they played. And they looked like they would have scored about maybe 4 goals in the first half or so. So you see what I'm saying, like the change up. I never saw that with Lampard. We just kept going with the same 4-3-3. 4-3. So after a while, it just became very inflexible. I believe that too got him that sort of a result this morning with the accent.
Okay. Was this Jamal, you can jump in here. You think that this was a hard decision for the board? I think the time was just up. And hold on there, let me just throw this one into you can answer the time. Do you think that the appointment was hastened because Tuchel was now available?
Good.
Yeah, but you also had Allegri available, so I don't think it was hasty. I think they were talking to Tuchel before they fired Lampard. Also, I do think it was a bit hard. I say hard for the board. I think they last week they told him it's better if he walks than they fire him because it looks better that way. And of course, he's not gonna walk because he's sticking up for the money that they owe him. Every Chelsea manager before him, obviously. And I do agree with. I don't know if you guys saw what Roy Keane said maybe about a year ago about Ole as well, where Ole was 16 months into the job. Man United were like mid-table, and he was saying need to give him at least another year. It's the same situation with Lampard. I think they needed to give him another year. Tuchel was saying that he was basically tactically inept. He didn't change anything. He'd start out with a 3-4-3 and then stick with it. But he's a young manager, and in the Premier League, I mean, you learn from your mistakes. And like I was saying last week as well, I just hope that he learns from his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But like we saw week after week, he does not. And I don't know if it's stubbornness.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I see Mason Mount and every team keeps, and I'm like, yo, this guy just runs around like a headless chicken, doing nothing. But yet he starts. And where's Jorginho? Jorginho doesn't play in any game. And then, like people were saying, it has to be a double pivot with Kante and someone else, which would likely be Jorginho, or play Kante somewhere else. But then, you know, Kante is playing defensive midfield. Next thing you see him up running attacking midfield. There's nobody in midfield. So he's not learning from his mistakes. And I don't know if, I think the board has noticed that. And they don't think that he will learn from his mistakes. Maybe because of stubbornness. Because he thinks, oh, I'm a Chelsea legend, and you know they can't do anything to me. But look at what happened. So, the Tuchel appointment came at the right time, I would think, and I do fear Chelsea now with Tuchel at the helm because I think he will know how to get the best out of Havertz and Werner. Although he can't be in Werner's ear telling him, oh yeah, you need to shoot the ball this way or that way with all those missed chances and penalties. But I do think they will create more chances going forward, and Chelsea are going to go up there, maybe top 4, if not higher, in the table now. I think we gave our predictions. 2 weeks ago, I think we gave our predictions as well where Chelsea would finish, and all of us had them out to the top 4 due to Lampard being that factor. But with Tuchel here, I think with an experienced manager, and I think he's German as well, right? So he will have something from Germany in that system. I mean, he had Dortmund running Bayern to the helm as well. So I do fear them, and I think they will push other teams. But it's just sad to see Lampard go, honestly. Because now,
all right, Yuri.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, Jamal. Yuri, I have one for you because. Do you think that the 220 million that Chelsea spent for Frank Lampard, that was like a poison chalice for him?
Yes.
That you don't think that there was any? Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yes, undoubtedly. Abramovich, history has showed when he spends money, he expects results. And Frank would have known that before taking the job, that he really and truly would have had a certain amount of time to get results, right? Especially after this summer. I think what has saved him this season is the fact that he overperformed so well with the young players when they weren't really expected to get into the top four. If Chelsea fans are being realistic, he did well to get them into the top four. And also, he's a Chelsea legend. So the board wasn't so quick to pull the trigger on him like they would have done with previous appointments. I remember a story of Angelotti getting sacked in a tunnel after they won the double, right? So Chelsea is not a club that plays around. They do not play around. But what I'm curious to see is what type of Thomas Tuchel they'll get. Will they get the Thomas Tuchel from PSG, who was just really a man manager, who was there to babysit big stars?
Yeah.
Or will they get the tactician from Dortmund, who fell out with board members if he didn't get what he wanted, right? Who wasn't afraid to do the things that Kiefer was talking about, tweaking the side, putting players in right positions, right? Surrounding them with the key players, like how we talked about Kante needing a double pivot. Thomas Tuchel is a tactician, but I'm not sure if we've seen the best of that in the last few seasons in PSG. And he has a track record of falling out with boards. He fell out with the Dortmund board. He fell out with Leonardo publicly, and Chelsea is a similar kind of setup. I don't think this is a good marriage.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, go ahead, Jamal.
It won't be a good marriage, but you think they care? I honestly don't think the Chelsea board cares. They just want
Results right away.
as long as they bring trophies this season or next season, they don't really care what happens. Yeah. Like who is it? I think Di Matteo. Di Matteo won the Champions League like 2 months later.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So I don't think they really care about that. It's just maybe Kiefer can shed some light on that. But I think
I want to ask Kiefer a quick question, Shaq, if I may.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kiefer, what does success for Chelsea this season look like to you?
At this point, I think making top four is probably what they're signing Tuchel on to do. They want a guaranteed Champions League spot. I think for sure that's probably what they're looking for from him. We're still in the cup, so winning the cup because we're still in the cup. I think they're looking for that from him. I don't know if they're going to be looking for Champions League success. I personally don't think that we'll win it, but if we do, I mean, kudos. But I don't think we'll win the Champions League per se. But I've always backed my team. But yeah, I think FA Cup and making top four, I think that'll be a successful start for him. But one thing I wanted to add is that the players need to take pride. They need to take pride in wearing the badge.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's lackluster on the field. At some point, I don't care, because me as a player, and I've been in a situation similar to this Chelsea situation where I went into my university team and it was a past player that took over the team in my first year, and a lot of players that were playing in front of me. They weren't better than me. A lot of players that were playing came to me off the pitch and talked to me and asked me to talk to the coach to find out what's the reason why I'm not playing and stuff like that. And it was all down to favoritism and that type of stuff. But I had to talk to the players and tell them, look, you guys got to take pride in yourself and pride in your game, because we're losing and you guys seem like you don't want to play. Like, I grew up from a culture where Antigua people love lose, king. We don't take lose. So they need to have some kind of pride in themselves and take the game on for themselves, not for anyone else, not for the manager, but for themselves. This is their career. Like, you gotta win.
Keith, I'm glad you gave us that insight, because I was, even when they were talking about the Arteta out, I was of the opinion that when you cross that white line, there's only so much the coach can do then.
Yeah.
You have to want it.
It's left
You have
up
to
to the
want. You have to want to win.
The
Do
coach
your
can
best.
the coach can guide you. He can give you basic guidelines of what he wants you to do, but the game isn't strict. The game bends and changes every second the ball moves on that grass, on the pitch. You have
Yep.
to adjust as is. You can only follow the plan to a certain T.
But FIFA,
We can't predict everything, so you gotta go out there. You have to put your heart in. You gotta put your mind in to adapt to the game and play as is. You're getting paid millions of fucking pounds to do something. You gotta do it properly, bro.
Kiva, if I'm gonna ask you a question,
Mm.
you don't think the way Chelsea hires and fires managers is counterproductive when it comes to the point that you just made about taking pride in the game? Because if you are a player,
In terms of longevity, yes, it is very toxic. You have to decide that you're going to be gone at any specific time when you take up this Chelsea job. And I don't think Lampard really understood that until it was too late. I think, as someone said earlier in the podcast, that he thought he's a manager and he's a past legend, that he'll get away with anything and he'll be in there for the long run, but he didn't realize that Chelsea is cutthroat, no matter who you are.
All right, Moy, go ahead. You wanted to get something in, and I would
Oh,
I have two more questions for y'all, and we call it George. Go ahead, Moy.
Okay, so we've been debating the between the manager and the player, right? How the managers always get blamed. When do we look as the public, as football fans, and point out to say that we can look and see that it's the player's fault at that point in time and do not put the blame on the manager itself?
I don't know about you. Every week it's the player's fault. Every week is the player's fault. You only look at the manager's fault long term, I would say.
I don't think I'll necessarily agree. I think the manager gets a lot of the blame, but as he should to some extent, because he keeps playing the same people that play awful every weekend. Week in, week out, he plays the same awful players. He doesn't change nothing up. Then we got to blame the manager. It's the literal definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over again, accepting a different result.
Different results. All right, guys. Two more questions. Was the 200 Kiefer? You can just answer this one, and then I'll just leave the other one for the entire panel.
Okay.
Was the 220 million spent well, in your opinion?
No, I don't think these players have impressed me at all. Werner just reminds me of a younger Higuain. He just likes to run and hit the ball really hard. He hasn't impressed me at all, to be honest. Havertz is slow. As I said, there's no lackluster in his game.
Luxury player.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything to impress me or to show he wants to really be here. He's just here just to show up and make his paycheck every week. That's what I've been seeing so far.
Do you think Havertz is just one of those players where if he's available, you get him? Sort of like Donny van de Beek at United.
I guess you could say so. But one thing I will say about our signings, I think they've showed up in European games, because I think we lost one game in our group stages. So I think they've done well in European football, but I don't know, there's something about the Premier League, they just can't find it.
And would you say that then that's their level? Because the European opposition was not.
The Premier League is just too fast-paced for them. Could be the Premier League too fast-paced, too rough for them. And whereas in the Champions League, things are a bit more tactical, a bit more slow down. In the Premier League, it's fast. It's more end-to-end than anything else. Whereas in the Champions League, it's much more structured teams where they try to actually break you down tactically and passing-wise and that type of stuff. So it could be that they play better under tactical pressure than anything else.
All right, guys. Go ahead, finish up FIFA.
Yeah, sorry, because Chilwell also is a signing for us under that 220. I
Oh
think
yeah, this
Chilwell has
Premier League.
brought something to the team. He defends a lot better than Alonso, and he does get forward almost as much. Nobody can get as forward as Alonso, to be honest, but he gets forward almost as much. So I think Chilwell was a good signing, yeah.
Okay, we gonna start with Yuri, then we jump to Jamal, Moyne, and we finish off with Kiefer. All right, guys, just give me about a minute, minute and a half. Forget the price tag. Forget the price tag because we know the market is inflated. But Chelsea bought well they got a 36-year-old Thiago Silva. We was a 21-year-old Havertz, Martin Werner, and Keith just mentioned Chilwell. Realistically, do you think that they thought that they would have won the league, or realistically, what do you think? What do you think of Chelsea coming into this season? Would be a realistic finish for them?
I don't think they thought they would have won the league. I thought that they thought that this season would have been set them up for next season where they could have a real push at the title. I think they just tried. It would have been nice for the players to gel early. It was going to be a topsy turvy season just because you're gelling in so much new players, right? But they've massively underperformed. So it's halfway. They weren't expecting to win, but they weren't expecting to do this poorly. In my
Go
opinion.
ahead, Jamal.
Given any other circumstance, I think they would have been challenging for the title. But like I said previously on in maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, that this is sort of a preseason for most teams. And I think they're running through the mill with it as well, in the sense that
I remember you saying
being
that.
straight off of last season, straight into this season, and they just haven't had time to gel, pointing to Yuri's point. They just haven't had time to gel as a team. But, I mean, we were all looking at Werner's numbers and Havertz's numbers coming out of Germany, and we're thinking, yeah, these players are, great players. But like Yuri said, they just haven't had time to gel. And if it was last summer they were coming, I think Chelsea would have been challenging for the title. But like the many different teams in the league at the moment that can't hit form, barring City at the moment, everybody is just running through a whole preseason process in which you miss your chance and you sharpen up the next season. And I don't think they can. Obviously, they might carry this form over into next season, but what do we have this summer? We have Euros this summer.
Yeah.
Euros and the Olympics this summer, supposedly. So that again is another break for the team. You have another short preseason. Players come back tired. Next season again. We don't know what to look at for the teams. So it's going to be tough. But I think they were looking at challenging for the title initially.
All right, Moy, go ahead.
Well, for me, I think if the objective wasn't for them to win the championship this season, I think it was for them to put their strongest foot forward and to show people what they were made of. Because I mean, with the likes of they bringing in Werner and Havertz, and they got an experienced Thiago Silva for their defense. On paper, everybody was looking at this team saying, "This is a title challenging team," but it just took a turn for the worse, and the bad performance just hit them hard. But I see them bouncing back after a while. So it is what it is for now.
All right, Kiefer closes off.
I think going into the season, we were expecting to at least challenge for the title. I think they were looking for Lampard to challenge hard for it. As you guys were saying, looking at the numbers of these guys coming off of Germany, we thought they would really insert something into us because we were looking for a dominant attacking midfielder because we didn't really have one other than Mason Mount scoring for us because Kovacic doesn't really score much. Jorginho scores penalties. Kante doesn't score that much either. So we were looking for a dominant scoring midfielder, and with Havertz coming off of how many goals, Werner coming off of how many goals, then Ziyech coming in. We expected him to be whipping crosses in. to add with Pulisic and then Callum Hudson-Odoi and Chilwell with crosses also. So I think we were looking for better results, and as Eric said, we did underperform. We have underperformed thus far into the season. But yeah, I think we were looking to challenge for the title for sure this season. But doesn't seem like.
Last question for you, Kiefer. Excited for Tuchel? If it's really Tuchel that's coming in, you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the team, how he can change anything, how he can get the players lifted, what tactics he will implement to make things work. So I'm looking forward to it. Ready to
All right, well,
see what's up.
all right, guys. Any final thoughts? Any final thoughts before we close? Are we good?
I just need a centre back, bro. Get me anybody.
I told you that you could get Mustafi.
Nah,
You
listen,
had
bro.
Socrates there too.
we offered you
You could have
Socrates
get.
early in the month, and you rejected.
Who you offered me, Jamal?
Socrates. We offered you Socrates early in January.
Yeah, you could have get Socrates for like maybe 2 duck and a half or something.
Yeah. Check account, girls. Talk about me.
Chocolate and sweet milk. And sweet milk too.
Honestly.
$1.
Honestly.
All right, guys. Well, we look forward to the games this midweek. We see how we go. We come back on Thursday to discuss them again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Yuri, Jamal, Moy, Kiefer. Thank you for your insights. Thank you, Super. You dropped in. You had to leave. You had to finish up something there at work. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who joined in at the comments. Really had a really good discussion tonight. I know I enjoyed it. All right, so guys, peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right. Thanks again, boys.
Night, guys.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.